Radio. Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hi.
Hello to you too, Anthony.
Hello.
It's good. Nice to see you waving your hand.
Yeah. Happy days.
Nice and good. All right. We hope you guys are all well. So we have another lesson today. As you know, this is lesson number 7, Revelation and Concealment. Very important lesson. Straight off the bat, this thing here, the screen that I normally draw on is not working. So it's been a bit of a drama queen. So we can't use it. And I know it helps a lot with the explanations, but just for today, I don't know when they're going to get it fixed, but until that gets fixed, just make sure you're a bit more focused with me today because we only got an hour. Now, any questions you have regarding the lesson, please shoot them through. Next week, I'm not going to be around on Tuesday because I've got a work appointment, so I won't be around. I won't be in Israel at all. So, but there is still a lesson, okay? There is always a lesson. So Anthony and Chris will be going over the lesson free will next week. It is a very, very important lesson, so don't miss free will. We only got 3 more lessons left. This is 7, so forget this, 8, 9, and 10, and then we finish off the first semester with lesson 11, which is going to be questions and answers. And that's what we call a little tea party, so you can bring your teas and cakes and stuff, and we can just do question and answers, and we can just kind of wrap this semester up with a nice question and answer session. And then we're going to start the second semester, all right? And that's going to be really how to work inside a spiritual group, all right? And that's how it's going to be. So let's get smashing, Revelation and Concealment. Now, the revelation and the concealment of the Creator is a very important topic because a lot of people ask, well, if there is a Creator, where is He? Okay, what's the issue with that? Why doesn't He show Himself? If He created us, why can't we see Him? Why can't we feel Him? Why can't we ever talk with Him? Why can't He just tell us what He wants from us? And so on. And the situation here is, He can't show Himself simply because our egoistic nature would just want to swallow Him up. Imagine moths flying to that blue light, and then they get electrocuted, right? In the summer, if you got those lights in your garden, the blue ones. Yep. Moths love that light for some reason. They just run to it and they just fly straight into it like kamikaze pilots, and then they're just gone. So if we could see also how we could get anything we want from the Creator, then we'd be stuck onto Him. We'd be like leeches sucking His blood. So, and that would never get us to the purpose of life, because the purpose of life is to be like the Creator. So we could never be like the Creator if in our current nature He was revealed. This is why the Creator is hidden, and He needs to be hidden, and it's good for us that He is hidden. Okay, it's for our benefit. Otherwise, we'd be stuck in this egoistic nature. We'd be like slaves, literally. Voluntary ones too. Imagine how bad that is. So the Creator has to be concealed, and He's doing us a really, really big favor by being concealed. So what's our job? Well, our job in spirituality is to reveal Him. Because if we reveal Him, we can then, well, what does revelation mean? Revelation of the Creator means that I've actually changed my attributes, made them similar to His attributes, and that has kind of brought me a new perception of reality, which is a reality that I begin to perceive by being like Him. Okay, does that make sense? We are now perceiving reality in our current nature. Well, imagine to yourself, which is not far-fetched, that you could perceive a completely different new reality if you were in a different nature. What's the big deal, right? There's no problem with that. So, the issue is here how we are going to change ourselves to perceive that new reality. And the way that's going to happen is by coming to equivalence of form, obviously. All right, so let's have a look at that. Let's see what we need to do today. Now, in the previous lessons, we've discussed that the purpose of creation is for the Creator to do good to the creatures, which is us. Okay? And accordingly, what we want to do is return the favor. So by becoming like the Creator, we're able to return His bestowal and bestow back to Him. And that brings us to something called in spirituality equivalence of form, which is also a law in nature, because if things were not equal to my sensory organs, I'd never feel them, right? For example, air, I can't touch and feel, okay? It's just not there. However, the paper is, the wood is, and other things are. So things that are in my perception of reality with respect to my five senses are all there for me to perceive, sense, and so on. The other thing is sound waves, for example, or certain light waves. I can't see them, I can't hear them, simply because the range that I can perceive is limited. And same here with spirituality. By actually building for ourselves a new sensory organ, we'll be able to perceive the Creator. And that perception is actually where we want to come to, because that change in our nature will bring us to kind of sense Him, and we'll be able to sense Him in such a way that because we've changed our nature, it won't be egoistic. So we won't be sticking onto Him and sucking His blood and, on His neck, telling us to give us everything you got. Instead, it'll be a different way of relationship. Okay, so that's the bottom line in this topic about why the Creator is not revealed. It's definitely in our favor, because this is actually how kids grow up as well. As adults, we don't tell our children everything about life on day one. Well, first of all, they won't understand it. Second of all, even when they grow up, we always explain things according to how they can understand with their current mentality, right? According to what their age demands, according to their capacity, and so on. So we can't really go over their capacity and expect the kids to kind of act like a grown-up at the age of 5. It's just not going to happen. Well, same with us. When we're advancing in spirituality, when we're discovering the laws of nature and how we want to adapt ourselves to the laws of nature from an opposite state of being egoistic and self-centered, then that change is going to take time. And we're like little kids growing up exactly in the same way. Thus, henceforth, as we change our nature, we become equipped with the tools, we become mature, like children who grow up and become mature. As they grow up and become mature, they start to make their own living. They don't ask for their parents for money anymore, do they? Say, listen, I'm working, I'm making my own money, I don't need anything else from my parents. Same here. We need to come to such a state of maturity with respect to the Creator that when we do discover Him, when we do reveal Him, we will not feel like we want something from Him, but we'll say, hey, it's great that you have everything, and it's great you want to give me everything, but I'm fine, thank you. And that will give us the sensation, that state will give us the sensation of individuality. Revealing the Creator without being fully prepared for it will actually take our free choice away from us. It will confuse us. It will leave us in limbo. We'll always be in a dilemma about what's right and wrong. We won't feel like we're free. We won't feel independent. Imagine your parents having a leash on you all the time. And that's the situation that we're in. And that's it. This is why the Creator is concealed, why He needs to be concealed, and why we need to endeavor ourselves to develop in order to come to His abilities of bestowal, so we can be independent from Him and we can have a relationship at an eye-to-eye level without feeling embarrassed about being lower than Him. All right, any questions?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, if you got...
wait a minute. Sorry about that. One just came in. It's from Stephen from the... One just came in. It's from Stephen from the UK. Stephen says, hi. Is it that we are asked to make an effort for spirituality and feel this now, but later when we experience even this as coming from the Creator. He says, I struggle with this because I try to live by there is none else besides Him.
Okay, a few issues there. Okay, yeah, if you can just copy that there, that'd be great. First of all, let's start from your question from the opposite, right? You say I struggle because I try to live by there's none else besides Him. Well, look, living with the principle there's none else besides Him is okay, but until you live with that principle, you have to grow into that principle. It's not like on day one there's none else besides Him, and that's it. Simply because we're just not there yet. For us to really say there's none else besides Him, we need to see the Creator and really see, understand, and feel that He's doing everything. But if we're not there, living by that principle will become something like a dry belief, simply because the Kabbalists wrote it. All right, so it won't really saturate you, and it might actually delete the kind of effort that you want to put into it. So let's take a look at that question again. Is it that we're asked to make an effort for spirituality and feel this now, but later we experience even this is coming from the Creator? Yes, we'll need to make an effort now. We'll need to make a really good effort too, guys. Okay? And I'm not ashamed in telling you guys. All right? Spirituality is something very special. You can literally attain all the cause and consequence of this whole reality. So it's a very, very deep, a very, very special wisdom, this wisdom that we're studying right now. So in order for us to attain that, we obviously need to make a lot of effort, and the mentality behind making that effort is, like I said, is to ensure that we don't feel less than the Creator. We want to feel like we earned it. We want to feel like we did it ourselves. And this sensation is very important, because otherwise we'd feel shame. We'd feel shame towards the Creator and would never really have a good relationship with Him. Imagine having a relationship with someone which you're constantly feeling ashamed in that relationship towards that person. It's just not going to make it good. So our effort is actually a way for us to earn our way into spirituality, to make it ours, to really build ourselves with it, and to develop it, and then say, you know what, I did this. And then afterwards, we'll see and we'll discover how that thing worked out in the whole of reality. But until then, the important thing is that we need to make an effort. So in your free time, okay, not during work hours or not during your family hours, but when you're taking care of your day-to-day routine at work, at family, with kids and everything, then beyond that, you should dedicate some time every day for spirituality. Just like we dedicate our time during the day to eat and look after our bodies, right? We go, maybe you guys work out, go have some physical activity to make sure you're healthy. We all eat during the day. Why? Because we like to take care of our body. We're all eating, drinking, looking after ourselves. Well, we shouldn't really disregard looking after our soul as well. So every day you should set aside a little bit of time to make sure you deal with your soul as well. Right, then anything else?
That was it.
All right, that was it. Okay, well that's a 15-minute lesson, and we're all wrapped up and ready to go. Not quite. I know some of you might love that. Well, let's read. Okay, I've got a couple for the student in front of me. You guys know this book already. Raising the Slave Through the Ministers, page 2.